Hello there. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about my gloves. So these are RDX S5 Safe Tech sparring gloves, 12 ounce. I got sparring gloves because I didn't know what I was doing. I just started and I just wanted some gloves, and it was pretty much in the middle of lockdown, and I didn't really know where to look or what I was doing, or who sold boxing gloves and who didn't, and I just found RDX by googling. They didn't have much in stock, probably, like I said, probably due to the lockdown thing, and pretty much these were the only thing that they had in stock that I liked the look of, which was important. So I bought them. They were about 60 quid, something like that, and actually I have to say, overall, I'm quite happy with them. Quite happy with them overall. Quite. There's a little bit of reservation there. So, what they are genuine leather, full grain, Tatara full grain leather. So they should be very, very durable, and they've certainly lived up to that, I think. Well, certainly. I mean, every time I've hit the bag, it's been with these because I don't have anything else. How many rounds have I done on the bag? 2-minute rounds. I've probably done over 100 since I've had these now, and they really, generally, apart from a couple of little things that we'll talk about, they're not showing any wear whatsoever, really. So I'm mostly very happy. On the inside of the palm, they've got a really nice vented area. No breathing holes in the thumb or inside the fist area, but this whole area is vented. One of the things that I really like is the strap, which, although it starts fairly narrow, widens out really nicely, and I actually find that gives a really, really good wrist support. The other thing that I really like is this is a section of elastic. I've not seen that on any other gloves that I've seen a review of, and I really like it. Again, they're the only gloves I've ever had, so I don't know what it's like when you don't have that. But what I do know with this is that I can give it a good firm pull, and in there now that feels really secure. Where the band widens, it comes right out to this width here, and that is right by right by here. So it's very high up on the hand, at the side and round the back, and then tapers back down. So in terms of wrist support, very, very good. Really, I'm really happy with that, and it's one of the things that concerns me about perhaps changing gloves, because I like a lot of wrist support, being old and frail. So yeah, really, really pleased with that. The grip bar is also really nice. It's really nicely placed for me. And for a while, I actually thought there was another grip bar right up in here, because you can feel that with this area, the last knuckle on the fingers. But all it actually is the seam between the palm and the top of the glove, where the padding is. But that seam is really well placed, and it allows me to really pull against that. And if it's not deliberate, it's a very happy accident, because that really makes me feel like I'm forming a really good fist inside the glove. For me, the thumb's a little bit short. My thumb is pushing right up against the edge, so I could have done with a slightly longer thumb, but not to the point where it's uncomfortable. I only really notice it when I put the glove on. Once I start using it, doesn't cause me any trouble at all. So a lot of really good points there, I think, and quite comfortable as well. But again, you know, like I say, not really got anything to compare it against at the moment, it being the only glove I've ever had. But you know, I don't put it on and think, "Ooh, that feels horrible." It feels quite nice. So in terms of the padding, you know, I see people doing this on reviews. I don't know how much you can tell. It feels pretty stiff to me. You know, it feels quite firm, and certainly when I'm hitting the bag, you know, it gives a really good snap as it hits the bag, and there's no way that knuckles are coming through to make any kind of contacts with the bag. There's, you know, I can't feel my knuckle there at all, and that's on a 12-ounce glove. So yeah, really good hand protection, I would say. For sparring, I nearly hit myself in the head then, just to show you, but I changed my mind. For sparring, yeah, you know, solid. I wouldn't want to get it in the head off someone with these on, who knew what they were doing, but I probably wouldn't with any glove, to be fair. Okay, so yeah, all in all, I think they look good. I like the colourway, black and white with a bit of red. Suits the football fan hiding inside me, red, white and black. Couple of things then that are not so good. There's a piece of elastic, as usual, that stops the gape at the top of the gap there, and that's fraying quite heavily. It's, you know, half of it has come away. It's halfway to giving up the ghost. I use these with just standard hand wraps, so my fist is not a lot bigger than normal with those wraps, and you know, I don't feel that I don't feel that's justified. Really, I'm not forcing the glove on. It doesn't feel overly tight. It feels just snug. So it's kind of a shame for that to be giving up the ghost so early, even on a, you know, relatively cheap glove at about 60 quid, something like that. Just feels like it probably shouldn't happen. Also, the other thing is that almost immediately, I think, you know, maybe on day 2 of using them, the thumb tab on this one came away. It's snapped, and you know, at that time, could you see that? Sorry, basically there. At that time, it was literally day 2. I was hardly hitting the bag at all. I was literally just learning jabs. So you know, I was literally like that, and at the end of the second session, I noticed straight away that's give up. Doesn't matter to me. I'm never going to get in a ring and be sparring with anyone, I don't think. But it's sold as a sparring glove, and if you know you can't use that for sparring now, you're just going to get that thumb in someone's eye. So that's not great. So 2 things that are really not great. One of them probably doesn't matter too much, the fraying of the elastic on the other glove, but this one, you know, the thumb tab giving out effectively means that pair of gloves is useless if you wanted to use them for sparring. Fortunately, I'm not, so I'm going to carry on using it, and I'll be very happy using it just on the bag. Yeah, but if I ever do go to a club, and if I get a coach who's daft enough to let someone in the 50s spar, then I won't be using these, clearly. So bear that in mind. I'm going to say, you know, I do like them. They're pretty good. Happy with them for 60 quid, which when I bought them I thought was quite a lot of money for a boxing glove. I've since discovered that puts them firmly in the budget category. but still for a budget glove, I wouldn't expect, you know, an essential safety feature to be failing. So there you go, RDX S5 SafeTech 12 ounce sparring gloves.